7 years, 10 months, and 1 day since the last time UConn lost 2 in a row. Tonight, the Huskies will try to continue that remarkable streak. From Gamble Pavilion in Storrs, Connecticut, the Lady Monarchs of Old Dominion meet the #1 ranked Connecticut Huskies. And a very pleasant good evening, everyone. I'm Bob Nicosi, along with Megan Pattison. We'd like to welcome our viewers on Connecticut Public Television and our viewers in the Hampton Roads area on Home Team Sports. For UConn, there will not be a third undefeated regular season in the last 7 years. The Huskies' 30-game winning streak ending Monday at Notre Dame. And Megan, the Irish not only beat the Huskies, they beat them convincingly.
Oh, they did. UConn got beat by a better team that day. UConn learned that they're not invincible. Look at the numbers, all the numbers lower. See, their greatest strength became their greatest weakness. They've got a lot of scorers on this team, but when the game got away from them, everyone tried to win the game on their own. And you know you only win the game with all 5 people on the floor. You win as a team. You can't do it individually.
Old Dominion is 8-4, has won 5 in a row. It's been an injury-marred season for the Lady Monarchs, but the talent well is hardly dry. They have the leading scorer in the Colonial Athletic Association.
Yeah, Okeisha Howard, the sophomore guard, only 5'4". She's tiny in stature, but she is not tiny on the stat sheet, leading the team in scoring. She is a spark plug. She shoots the 3. She's got a very explosive first step, can get to the basket. She's going to have a monster game for the Monarchs.
One streak still intact for UConn is a 12-game winning streak here at Gamble Pavilion. Will they extend it to 13 tonight? The starting lineups are next. Let's check the starting lineups. First for the visiting Lady Monarchs. Ham Shatumaiga, 6'1" senior, leads the Colonial Athletic Association in field goal shooting. She's shooting 60.5% from the floor. She's a first-team all-conference performer. And the coach of the Lady Monarchs is Wendy Larry. Took her team to the NCAA championship game in 1997. She's in her 14th season at the helm. And for UConn, might want to keep your eye tonight on All-American Shea Ralph, who would rather forget about her performance Monday in South Bend. 2 points in 20 minutes, spent the last 14 minutes of the game on the bench. Gino Auriemma, the coach of the Huskies, and he is in his 16th season. His 406 wins, the 30th most in women's college basketball history. And Megan, this will be Old Dominion's first visit here to Gamble Pavilion. 2 previous times they've played UConn at the Hartford Civic Center.
And I was talking to the coaching staff today at practice, and they were excited to play here because it is a more intimate setting than the Civic Center. And it's a great venue for college basketball.
It will be Kelly Schumacher jumping center against Kim Gittens as we look at the series history. The home team has won each of the first 3. Bill Titus will toss the ball up between Schumacher and Gittens. He's working the game tonight with Angela Lewis and Kim Watt. Old Dominion 4-0 in the Colonial Athletic Association, but what else is new? They are absolutely dominant in that league. They've won incredibly 106 straight games against their conference opponents. Down low, Cash doubled. Bad pass at the feet of Schumacher. Right side of Brosimova for 3. Long rebound. Brosimova tries to save and does to Cash.
Well, that's what hurts you playing the zone defense. It's tough to rebound out of it. Looks like they've matched up a little man here.
Up high, Cash wants to go down low and instead finds Ralph at the high post. On the wing of Brosimova. Into the post, Cash with 10 seconds left on the shot clock, and a hold will be called, I think, on Gittens. First foul of the game comes 39 seconds in.
Well, Old Dominion bailed UConn out in that situation. Cash really didn't know where to go with it. I thought they were going to call 3 seconds on it.
Huskies to inbound beneath their own hoop. The 46th consecutive sellout here at Gamble Pavilion tonight. Baseline drive by Brosimova, dumps to Schumacher, who misses badly.
Well, it was a tough catch Schumacher made, but just rocketed it off the backboard.
Sue Bird alters that shot by Howard, and here's Brosimova on a run out.
Well, that's what to stop the Huskies, you've got to stop their transition game.
Up the floor comes to Gittens. Left side, Thompson. Misses the shot. Rebound. Bird has Ralph ahead, but Spence is back defensively for ODU. Brosimova put it on the floor, but took a step before she did it.
She didn't realize how wide open she was.
Look at Gino Auriemma, who has been battling a flu bug of late.
Yeah, you know, this bug, it's been going around everywhere, and Chris Daly felt lousy today. Gino's feeling lousy. Shea Ralph was talking to her before the game. It hurt to swallow for her. So a lot of people struggling with this flu.
Up top, it's Maiga. Shoots over Abrosimova. Tough shot by the 6'1" senior from Mali.
And that's a tough shot. And they need her to make that consistently tonight. She's their go-to player, gosh, with all the injuries they've endured.
Ralph finds Schumacher, who incredibly hits the bottom of the backboard. So Kelly 0 for 2 and has...
That's a case, Bob, of not knowing where you are when you catch the ball.
Thompson wants to find Howard, does, and here's a 3. And great rebound position by Ralph, but she can't control the carom. Up top, it's Spence. We played 2:20, tied at 2. UConn 13-1, 4-1 in the Big East, coming off the first loss of the season Monday at Notre Dame. The Irish undefeated, ranked number 3 in the country. Could be number 1 when the new rankings come out next Monday. Through the hands of Howard and out of bounds. Old Dominion, Megan, turned the ball over 34 times in a blowout win over Hampton last Sunday.
And amazingly, Hampton turned it over 35 times. So needless to say, it wasn't a real pretty game.
On the left, Ralph finds Cash in the high post. She's doubled, then tripled. Knocked away, last touch by the Lady Monarchs. 16 to shoot for UConn.
When you're getting double and triple teamed, you can't put the ball on the floor. You've got to sense that and immediately kick it out.
UConn looks a little tight offensively to me.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Until that. Abrosimova had a big game against the Irish on Monday. 20 points and 14 rebounds. Gets her first 2 tonight.
Well, the Huskies have spent a lot of time the last few days reassessing their goals on the season and what they want to do. And I know right now no one wants to make a mistake.
Abbrosimova's first jumper of the night, that is. She's got all 4 UConn points. Rebound foul will be called on UConn. I think it's on Abrosimova.
She's wincing. I don't know if she came down on her ankle on that defensive possession. She didn't have inside position. Let's take a look. The shot goes up, so you know the rebound's going to come off pretty deep. Yeah, it looks like a right ankle.
And Svetlana didn't even try to jump to contest that shot by Maiga, who reaches in. And let's see, do we have a held ball or a foul? Quickly, Angela Lewis comes over. I think she's going to get Maiga for the foul. That will be number 1 on Tanti, her nickname, and 2 on ODU.
Well, she reached in there. Swin's leg just happened to be up in the air. It looked a lot worse than it was. Right. You know, I think we all know up here, Swin has a flair for the dramatic.
Up top, Schumacher. On the right, it's Bird. ODU in the zone. We may see zones for 40 minutes tonight from them. Ralph for 3. Rebound fought for baseline and controlled by Sharon Francis.
Good ball movement. The double team on the right wing. Immediately get it out and kick it opposite side.
Ralph with the reach-in steal, but will be called for the personal foul. Number 1 on Shea. Number 2 on the Huskies.
Ralph just a little late stepping in there. And she had that left hand in the passing lane. The right hand was the one that bumped the body.
Ralph second on the Huskies in steals this season with 29. Spence defended by Bird. And away from the play in the post will get contact.
Wow.
And Gittens, I think, is going to be nailed for her second personal foul away from the ball.
That's too bad if that's on Giddens, because I thought she was doing a terrific job posting up there. Yeah, you see the left arm, you see that hand. That's been a point of emphasis.
Yep. And I think the officials have been pretty consistent calling that also.
Yeah, and the players have done a good job of adjusting their games.
Left side of Abbrosimova's already got 4. Reversal to Bird for 3. Rebound in the lane to Maiga.
Against that zone, what's going to be open are skip passes and dribble, penetrate, and kick.
Well, if anyone saw the Huskies play Monday against Notre Dame, you got to believe they're going to zone them until they prove otherwise.
Absolutely. I mean, gosh, they took 33 threes. They just didn't make very many of them.
Maiga misses wildly. Rebound Ralph. splits up the floor, finds Bird on the left. Up top, Schumacher.
And Wendy Larry is working the official, saying she's carrying the ball.
Ralph matches her point total Monday in South Bend with that layup. And Ralph with the steal. It's 6-2 UConn, nearly 5 minutes gone by. Left side, Bird on the floor, will be called for traveling. And that will bring us to our first time out of the evening. 15:05 remaining. Shea Ralph gets on the board for the Huskies. They lead Old Dominion by 4. Megan, we are seeing that Shea Ralph looks like she's trying to get a little more involved offensively, and many times creates at the defensive end.
Well, there, terrific recognition by Ralph to recognize, okay, you know what? No one can stop me where I'm going here. There was no weak side help. And Ralph is good enough a ball handler that she can put it down the floor and beat some of the big guys. There, and she turned the corner nicely and got right to the hoop.
Monique Coker has entered the lineup for the first time for Old Dominion. Bird with the steal, but then couldn't put the brakes on in time, and is called for the travel and the quick turnover. That's the kind of turnover you can live with if you're the UConn coaching staff.
It was terrific anticipation by Bird to step in there and pick it off.
Sharon Francis tries to beat Ralph off the dribble, penetrate, kick out to Thompson. I'm not sure Wendy Larry wanted her to launch in that one, but it's tipped up and in.
Well, Francis worked hard for inside position.
Francis has been battling a cold of late.
Yeah, she and Giddens both are struggling. So this bug is not just relegated to the Northeast.
Cash throws it wildly behind Bird. So UConn, I think everyone in the building probably expected it to come out very crisply, you know, intent on amending what happened Monday in South Bend. There's certainly no lack of effort thus far, but crisp they have not been.
No, you saw Gino undoing the top button, loosening the tie.
He hasn't been feeling well lately either.
And a lot of that doesn't have to do with the flu he's got.
Thompson, good ball fake, then knocked away by Asia Jones. Shot clock running down. Francis tried to make the tough catch, but could not stay in bounds. Turnover number 4 for the Lady Monarchs, as Allie Spence will return for Wendy Larry. I spoke with Wendy this morning, and she said it's not a good time for us to be playing UConn. Someone has to play them next, and we're the lucky ones. I'm sure they're determined to prove a point. It's funny how coaches, whenever they see anything, they always relate it to how it affects them.
Well, we were joking today about how they're the unlucky ones coming in after a loss. You never want to play anyone after a loss, especially the #1 team in the country.
Down low, Tamika Williams had her shot partially blocked, and Jones misses the putback. UConn now 3 of 9 from the floor in the early going. And Tamika Williams with the step in, and she's ahead of Coker, then loses the ball off her leg and out of bounds. It's been that kind of week for UConn.
But what will be interesting to see is how the Huskies respond to this. Okay, things aren't going their way early. They're used to being up 15-2 in the first 6-7 minutes. All right, let's see how they respond. Old Dominion's not going to roll over and die just because they lost 2 of their players earlier this season to ACL injuries.
Coker had great inside position, misses the shot, rebound knocked out of bounds by Miga. We mentioned that Old Dominion has been crippled by injuries. The big ones, a 2-time CAA Player of the Year, Lucien Bertu, who tore her ACL in the offseason. Diana Taurasi, the Big East preseason selection for Rookie of the Year, enters the game and promptly buries a 3.
She is instant offense. Never met a shot she didn't like.
Her team-leading 23rd three-pointer of the season, and Old Dominion turns it over for the 6th time.
Well, those are the kind of turnovers that Wendy Larry does not want this team to make. The Huskies are going to create enough with their defensive pressure.
Down low, Tamika Williams. They quickly double her. She puts it on the floor and will get to the free throw line.
Good tough move there by Williams, splitting that double team, getting to the hoop. Old Dominion's doing a nice job. Every time the ball comes in, a ton of blue jerseys are around. Good job by Williams to move before that double team was set.
And unfortunately for the Lady Monarchs, that's number 2 on Miga. Old Dominion is not deep at all. They only have 10 players dressed. We mentioned Bear 2, who's out for the year with the torn ACL. They also lost freshman Corinna Turner with a torn ACL. She had started 3 games early in the season. And Mandy Ali out for the year with a degenerative disc. And it's been, if it weren't for bad luck, there'd be no luck at all for that young woman, because she missed all of last year with a torn ACL. So Old Dominion has definitely been playing shorthanded all season.
And the problem too, the team comes in and all the players, you've got Bear 2 and Turner coming in, and some of the other post players figure, well, I'm probably not going to get a whole lot of time. Well, now those players who were going to be the 3rd and 4th option are now the 1st and 2nd, and that's decidedly different.
Mariah Spence enters the lineup for Old Dominion, 6-foot freshman from Espanola, New Mexico. UConn up 7 and knocked away last touch by Old Dominion. So the full court trap produces turnover number 7 for ODU.
More energy on this full court press from the Huskies than we saw on Monday.
Went off Mariah Spence's leg. Abrosimova pass into the post to Jones, who draws the foul on Thompson. Number 1 on Tiffany and 5 on the Lady Monarchs. Taurasi to inbound beneath her own hoop. She fouled out after 15 minutes on Monday in South Bend. Scored 6 points against the Irish. It was the first women's game ever sold out at the Joyce Center. An unbelievable atmosphere, frenzied atmosphere. And I was in South Bend to do a men's game Tuesday night, Megan, and that's all they were talking about on campus.
That's
was
big news.
Huge win the day before by the women. Taurasi hits the pull-up. 5 points for Taurasi. 9-point Husky lead, nearly 8 minutes gone. Coker is doubled, and Taurasi and Bird were both there. It will be Taurasi with the reach-in foul, number 1 on her and 3 on UConn.
How about the fans booing like the Huskies never foul?
Well, they don't in this building. I think that was their first ever.
Even at that, it was a bad call, right?
Inbound to Allie Spence, picks up her dribble, then up high to Thompson with Jones right in her face. Mariah Spence ball fake to get by Abrosimova, who then picks up the rebound, lead past Jones, one-on-one with the 5-foot 4-inch Spence.
I don't think Abrosimova realized that she was outletting it to her center. Jones didn't look terribly comfortable, but she got it done. No style points here.
Jones with tremendous athletic ability, one of the more versatile players in the Big East. That's a kick on the Huskies, so a fresh 30 for Old Dominion. But first, a timeout. 11:29 left first half. It's UConn by 11. A quick spurt of energy off the bench from freshman Diana Taurasi.
She's picking up right where she left off with those 2 threes against Notre Dame before she fouled out at the end of that contest. Check out, she launches that one from the Old Dominion bench, and then here shows she can dribble and pull up. She's already, Bob, such an explosive scorer and a dynamic personality. It's scary to think what she might be like as a senior.
She sparked that 9-0 UConn run, scored 3,000 points in her high school career. Chino, California at Don Lugo High School was the Naismith National Player of the Year a year ago. Old Dominion in the early going 2 of 11 from the floor. On the year, UConn opponents shoot 36%. Ball knocked out of bounds by UConn. 21 seconds left on the shot clock for Sharon Francis and Lady
Great
Monarchs.
pressure on the basketball. Remember, you don't want to steal the ball out of the double team. Ralph in the passing lane, you can see on the right side of your screen. Huskies do an excellent job of just converging when the ball is dead.
Thompson into the post off the foot of Coker. Turnover number 8 for Old Dominion. Here's Taurasi. Inside Asia Jones with great position. Missed the shot, gets her own rebound. Missed again, but gets fouled.
Now, it's a shame that Taurasi won't get the assist on that bucket, because that ball was placed perfectly. Step around the defense, away from the defense on the post player. Jones just couldn't get that one to go down, stayed with it, almost got it to go down while getting hit.
Well, coaches love when the scoring is balanced. They also like it, Megan, when the fouls are distributed a little bit better than Old Dominion. 6 fouls, 2 each on Maiga, Gittens, and now Thompson. That is not good for a team that only has 10 players in uniform.
Yeah, that's a recipe for disaster when you're already thin through your front line, as we've discussed already so much this evening. And I know Old Dominion, their staff, and Lisa Cassio, their SID, they're sick of talking about all these injuries. They wish it wasn't this way.
The whole front line, all 3 of them, starting front line with 2 fouls each. So Maiga and Gittens return with 2 each. Pull up Francis. Rebound Ralph. Here comes UConn, still up 11. Tarazi on the right. Down low and stolen by Gittens.
That pass might work in high school. It doesn't work in college, you know?
Turnover number 5 for UConn. Into the post to Gittens, to Howard for the pull-up. Rebound inside. Maiga fights for it and takes it away from Ralph. Francis, kick out. Mariah Spence for 3. Rebound weak side Ralph. Ralph from one end to the other.
And that's the Shea Ralph everyone here in Connecticut knows and loves.
Already has 4 rebounds in 10 minutes. We are exactly at the midway point. 17-4. Ralph with that basket, by the way, with 4 points tonight, has now moved into 8th place on the UConn career scoring list, ahead of Kathy Beauchene with 1,535 points. So Brosimova with the 3 from the left wing. Svetlana's got 7. Wendy Lowry's got timeout. It's a 14-point UConn lead with 9:36 remaining. Timeout, UConn trying to avoid a second straight loss. Out to the early lead. Where number 1 ranked UConn is a 14-point lead over Old Dominion with 9:36 remaining. And for UConn senior All-American Shea Ralph, she continues to pass people ahead of her on the all-time scoring list. This basket, Megan, will move her ahead of Kathy Beauchene.
Well, it's nice to see Ralph here going coast to coast. It's nice to see her more aggressive offensively. We didn't see a whole lot of that in that loss to Notre Dame. So even with the flu that she's fighting, it's good to see her aggressive and active out there.
Francis is trapped at midcourt. Knocked away by Cash. Gittens manages to get it to Howard. Then Mariah Spence left baseline. Rebound comes to Howard, and a fresh shot clock for the Lady Monarchs. Nice look baseline to Gittens.
That was set up nicely by Howard, who so quickly got into the lane, and then a nice dish through two white jerseys to find Gittens.
Ralph on the right. UConn by 12. Feeds to Mika Williams down low. Has it knocked away by Maiga. 2-on-2 has Howard right. Remember, she's got 2 fouls. And she's called for traveling. And I wonder whether Wendy Lowry kind of had her heart like drop down to the pit of her stomach when she saw Maiga leave her feet. A travel you can live with, but a charge would have been disastrous. Sue Bird replaces Tarazi for UConn. And Asia Jones returns, replacing Tamika Williams. Turnover number 9 for Old Dominion. Bird for 3. She's got it.
You know, unlike Sue Bird a lot recently, Bob, she came off that screen with a look in her eye like she was going to shoot the ball. She was about 3 feet behind the line, but she knew she was going to shoot it.
21 third of the season for her. Mariah Spence misses the shot inside. Knocked out of bounds by ODU. Sue Bird the other afternoon in South Bend. Perhaps the most glaring sign of how discombobulated the UConn offense was. Bird took 20 shots. That's a career high. Her previous high was 13. She'd like to have that one back.
Yes, she would.
Cash with the rebound and draws the foul. That will be number 8 on the Lady Monarchs. And to the free throw line will go Swin Cash. And that's foul number 3 on Kim Gittens.
Well, there, the back screen worked nicely. Bird wide open. The point guard, not used to being in there with the Giants, faded away a little bit. I don't know if she's afraid that thing was going to get blocked or what.
Swin Cash will certainly be looking forward to this weekend. Next up for the Huskies, a visit to Pittsburgh, her hometown. She played in neighboring McKeesport, Pennsylvania.
I can just imagine the contingent that will be there.
Well, they had quite a contingent 75 miles away when the Huskies played in Morgantown, West Virginia last February. That game for our Connecticut viewers will be seen Saturday afternoon at 2 o'clock on Connecticut Public Television. Quickly, Maiga in the forecourt drags the foot, and it has been a nightmare for Hamshitu Maiga. She turned it over 7 times against UConn last year. It's 25-8 UConn. Timeout. 7:53 left in the half.
For all of you who want to learn the latest about UConn women's basketball, sign up for our free email express service to receive alerts about the Huskies and all your favorite CPTV programs. Visit www.cptv.org and click on Email Express to sign up.
I believe there's a picture of you on that website, isn't there?
Oh gosh, I don't know.
I think so. The field goal shooting story, not a pretty one for ODU. Cash with that great explosion to the hoop, but she can't finish. Old Dominion has already turned it over 10 times tonight. We mentioned the 34 they had in their last game. Maiga double, Mariah Spence on the right. Keisha Howard, baseline, misses everything, and Shea Ralph with rebound number 5. Abrosimova, right side jumper.
You can tell that was off the minute it left her hands. Just never really had a handle on the ball, did Abrosimova, and it came off spinning sideways.
She's 3 of 5 from the floor. Francis penetrate, kick out Howard over Bird. Rebound, batted around, and comes out to Howard. Reset for ODU. Francis for 3. Wow. And on the rebound, Abrosimova tied up, held ball possession, arrow pointing toward Old Dominion as Taurazi returns for UConn. Ralph will leave for UConn with 4 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists. Francis looks to inbound and throws it no one home. Here's Bird one-on-one with Mariah Spence. Blind feed to Abrosimova, who misses the shot.
Another assist blown.
And then Bird mugs Keisha Howard and trying to go for the loose ball, and Sue will be called for her first foul, 4 on UConn.
The consummate point guard, Bird, knowing where Abrosimova is behind her. Abrosimova's fallen way left as she took that shot.
Her first personal foul, 4th on the team.
So it's Old Dominion ball. Lady Monarchs on the year average 75 per game. They have 8 points in the first 13 plus minutes. Maiga feed inside. No good by Coker, but follows up her own miss.
ODU has gotten a lot of pretty good shots. They just haven't gotten them to drop there. Coker did a nice job of staying with it and ripping down that offensive board and putting it back up.
She comes off a career-high 23 points in the win over Hampton last Sunday. Right side of Abrosimova. Gets the screen from Asia Jones, then a nice look inside to Cat. Counted in the foul.
Nice use of Swin's left hand there.
All set up by the Jones screen on the other side of the lane.
Abrosimova kept her head up. Maiga comes to double team. And Cash did a nice job continuing to move to the basket. The double team comes, nice dish by Abrosimova. So important to move without the basketball.
Foul on Mariah Spence, her first 9 on Old Dominion, and Cash at the free throw line looking for her 5th point of the night. Shooting free throws has certainly not been Swin's strength this year, only 57.7% entering the night. Full court pressure. Maiga. The Dribbles off her foot. Now right side to Allie Spence. Shot clock is down to 15, and they don't have it across midcourt yet. Thompson. Now they try to set the offense, but the clock's at 10. Coker called for steps as she tried to go around Schumacher.
Well, there, Coker just moving a little bit too quick. If she caught, turned and face, and then tried to make her move, she tried to do all of it in one fell swoop and got caught moving that pivot foot.
Brosimova up high to Cash. Taurasi with the no-look feed to Brosimova for her 8th and 9th points of the night, and another timeout for Wendy Larry.
You see some smiles on the Huskies' faces, which we haven't seen a whole lot lately. Taurasi is such a tremendous passer. People talk about her scoring, but she knew where Brosimova was the entire time. And she just gunned it in there.
Gina Auriemma has stated several times that all the great freshmen he's had here at UConn, no one has been able to pass the ball at this stage of her career like Taurasi. And he's had some pretty good ones.
I mean, yeah, that's saying quite a bit when you think back to Keisha Stales, Rebecca Lobo.
Jen Rosati could pass it pretty well.
Yeah. All the great players that have come through this program. Taurasi, she's different. You know, everything about her is pretty dynamic.
The UConn lead is now at a high of 20. 5.5 remaining. First half. Allie Spence as the Huskies come out of the timeout in the zone. Down low, Coker.
Nice job by Coker to get in there and just be big in the lane.
Quickly up the floor comes a Brosimova who sets up Cash. And another foul on ODU. That will be number 10. So everything from here on in will be 2 shots. A foul on Coker, her first. This is Wendy Larry's 14th year at Old Dominion. Has won 317 games. Has been to the NCAA tournament 12 times in her first 13 years, including the last 9.
Well, it's, you know, people up here in Connecticut talk a lot about, you know, the winning streaks that the Huskies have had through the Big East. Wendy Larry, they're 27-0 in the Colonial Athletic Association tournament.
Right.
I mean, that's obscene.
Yeah, the 9 straight CAA titles they've won represent an NCAA high for a women's basketball team. No other team in the country has won their league title 9 years in a row. Not even UConn. UConn has won the last 7 Big East regular season and conference tournaments. But
they've won 155 of their last 156. Yeah. I mean, those are some pretty obscene numbers.
106 in a row and 79 straight at home. Last year they went 16-0 in the league, already 4-0 this year. Francis with the miss, Taurasi with the rebound. UConn looking for more. Another no-look pass, but Allie Spence gets her hand into the passing lane.
That's where some of that flair can get you into trouble. What's that? Your greatest strength is your greatest weakness? I'll bring that one up again.
Keisha Howard loses the handle. That's turnover number 13 for ODU. They have 13 turnovers and only 12 points after 15.5 minutes. Down low, Ralph spins, has it knocked away, gets it back, and no one's there, but she took an extra step before she released it.
Now, Shea Ralph has been called for offensive fouls in those situations.
Quickly, right side Howard. She's 0 for 6 from the floor. Rebound Coker, tried to save, but Bird steps in front. Feeds Schumacher down low, spins, and will draw the foul on Sharon Francis. I've heard of posting up players, but Schumacher at 6'5" and Sharon Francis at 5'8", that doesn't quite seem fair.
Look at it, though. Schumacher, now she was off balance. You could see she was on her heels a little bit. You got to come out of there with 3 points. If you're getting fouled by someone who's only 5'8" and you're 6'5", you got to come out of there with more than just 2 free throws.
This is Schumacher's 4th start of the season. She started opening day against Georgia. then missed the next 6 games with a stress fracture. In that opening game against Georgia, the Lady Monarchs were in the building. It was a doubleheader at the Hartford Civic Center. ODU losing the opener to Penn State, then UConn beating Georgia in the nightcap. But Old Dominion didn't see any of the UConn game because they were on their way to the airport for the trip back home to Norfolk. Francis up high to Thompson. Thompson dribble drives by Schumacher, then takes a wild shot, rebounded by Taurasi.
He had not the optimum shot that you would want.
Bird on the right, looking inside and finds Tamika Williams down in her home office. Then Ralph inside, but the steal by Thompson, who's immediately fouled.
Well, a couple things there. Schumacher's got to keep her man on her back, and Ralph has got to pass it away from the defense. Those two things have to happen for that pass to be completed. But it was good defense.
Foul on Schumacher, her first 5 on the team. Timeout, 3:36 to go in the half. UConn by 20. February 2nd to Tennessee. They've won 12 in a row since then. Overall, 16 straight at home. Old Dominion in the house for the first time ever. The field goal shooting story decisively in UConn's favor.
And Old Dominion is a team that shoots 44% from the floor. And a lot of the reason why they're shooting well below is because of the incredible pressure the Huskies are putting on them every time someone's got the ball.
Pushing foul on Schumacher on the perimeter, so she picks up 2 quick ones. That's number 6 on UConn, so ODU not yet in the bonus. Old Dominion is second in the Colonial Athletic Association in field goal shooting with that 44.1% clip. The win over Hampton on Sunday, they shot 55%. Francis goes baseline, loses the handle, and is called for her team's 15th turnover.
Well, that's what the Huskies do. They force the wing players to the baseline, and then the weak side forward comes over, stepping outside the lane to step in, and that's usually what causes that turnover. It happens very often for the Huskies.
Entering the night, UConn had forced 85 more turnovers than their opponents. Taurasi with the pull-up.
That's a big-time move to catch the ball square in the air and then explode up with the jumper coming over your right shoulder. That's a tough shot.
7 points for Taurasi. Howard still looking to get on the board. Coming off her career-high 28-point effort in the win over Hampton. ODU scored a season-high 93 points against Hampton, and there's the first points of the night for Howard, counted in the foul.
How about that? 5'4" gets that shot up and over Asia Jones, who was coming over from the weak side a little bit late. That's just a tough shot. Look at her quickness. Nice crossover, gets by Ralph. See, Jones didn't come over and step outside the lane to stop her, partly because Howard is just so quick.
Howard playing collegiate basketball not far from her home in Virginia Beach. Completes the 3-point play. Leading scorer and the 3rd leading free throw shooter in the CAA. Inside Williams, who turns, then has it knocked away and stolen by Coker. That's 10 turnovers for UConn in the first 18 minutes. They lead it by 19. Francis gets her own rebound. Kick out to Allie Spence. Francis dribbles by Ralph, penetrates, finds Coker inside. She's been impressive off the bench. A force inside.
Yeah, Coker's done a nice job. She's been a big presence down low, posting up. There she stepped in on the weak side, and the guards did a nice job of finding her.
She's got 6 points. Bird feeds Williams low post. She spins, lays it up, count it, and the foul. Tamika Williams on the year, a remarkable 78.7% shooter from the floor.
Well, Williams was very unhappy with the turnover she committed the previous possession. Nice patience, and then a quick turn. Used the glass nicely, got hit. But what I liked about that move the most was the patience upon initially receiving the basketball to feel where the defense is, and then the quick move.
Williams, like Shea Ralph, spent the latter stages of Monday's game at Notre Dame on the bench. Didn't play in the last 8+ minutes. Had 10 points, made all 4 of her shots in her 14 minutes of playing time. Down low, Thompson airmails it right through the lane. Howard and Ralph hustled for the ball, and it's going to be a backcourt violation called on ODU. Rosamova and Cash return for UConn, replacing Williams and Ralph. Old Dominion has Marianthi Kukuvinu, a 6'1" freshman from Sweden, on the floor for the first time. She's number 32, defending Abrosimova. Catch and shoot Taurasi. Rebound, Asia Jones. And going way up for the rebound is Coker, who continues to impress.
Wait, once Jones shot that ball, Coker did a good job of maintaining that position inside and then ripped it down.
She's got 5 rebounds off the bench. Into the post to Coker. The foul from behind on Jones. That's her second. UConn with 18 fouls, so Old Dominion will shoot the 1-and-1. Much written and said all week long since the Notre Dame loss about Gino Auriemma's decision to have Shea Ralph and Tamika Williams on the bench down the stretch in South Bend.
Well, there were a couple of reasons. I think there were some physical issues with both players, Shea with her knees and Tamika with her back. But and those were the paramount reasons. But Ralph wasn't getting anything done while she was out there, so there's no reason to have her out there. She said it best in the paper today, you know, I wasn't getting anything done. We got plenty of players on this bench who go in there and do it. I wasn't getting it done.
Foul was on Kukuvinu, her first. And Abrosimova will shoot a couple. Sveta already with 9 points tonight. She is a 2-time first-team All-American. Morgan Valley checks in for UConn, replacing Asia Jones. And with that free throw, Svetlana Abrosimova has reached the 1,800-point mark in her career. She's the 5th leading scorer in UConn history. Needs 333 to catch up to number 4, Rebecca Lobo. Away from the play, a hold will be called. And back to the free throw line goes Old Dominion.
I think that was on Morgan Valley.
It is. Number 1 on the freshman from Burlington, Vermont. Valley entered the game the other day and was sort of the designated fouler. UConn had a foul to stop the clock, so as a result, she fouled out in 4 minutes of playing time. That's the sort of stat if your team wins, you can tease forever.
Well, that's a feat that she hopes she never reaches again.
Oh, a screen set by Cash. Birds called for the discontinued dribble. So with 35 seconds left, 5-second differential between the shot clock and game clock, Old Dominion trailing by 21. Allie Spence will walk it up the floor. Neither Spence nor Francis have scored yet tonight. Howard double teamed. Right side knocked away by Cash with 17 seconds left on the shot clock. Old Dominion would love to set something up here. Gino Auriemma will use his first half timeout with 21 seconds remaining in the half.
Yeah, Old Dominion benefiting from this timeout called by Auriemma. Can set up a play here. It'd be nice for them to jack up a 3.
You coach for a while. Do coaches have it in their contract? Do they get like money taken away when they don't use that first half time? You're only allowed to carry over 4 of your 5. So Gino using his timeout, if he didn't use it, he would lose it.
Well,
lose money, get demerits or something?
Well, I don't know about, I'm sure something like with him, it wouldn't matter if he had some money taken away. He's making so much money now. But back when I was playing for him, I know he wasn't making this much money. If they took money away, he'd be pretty upset. But it's interesting, though, that he obviously saw something right now that he wanted to get across to his team. some of that could be in light of, what they've been trying to accomplish since the Notre Dame game Monday.
Out of town. Number 2 Tennessee losing at home to Georgia by 5. Quickly comes Bird, stripped by Spence. 15 seconds left in the half. Shot clock off. Of course, Tennessee playing without their great All-America, Tamika Catchings, who sadly suffered a season-ending torn ACL.
Yeah, that's just tragic. She's a great kid.
Cash misses the shot. Rebound of Brosimova. Turnaround. Tapped up by Cash. Valley at the buzzer. No good. And this last possession for UConn is going to kill the field goal shooting. And a 3-quarter attempt ends the half. So UConn, 3 days after a 16-point loss, leads Old Dominion 38-17 at halftime. Svetlana Abrosimova with the penetration and feed to Swin Cash, who draws the foul. It was her only field goal of the first half. She had 6 points. Diana Taurasi, the no-look pass to Abrosimova for 2 of her game-high 11 first-half points. Abrosimova also had 5 rebounds. Statistically, the first half a nightmare shooting-wise for Old Dominion. The Lady Monarchs 0 for 9 from three-point range, only 26% overall from the floor, and they turned the ball over 17 times. Associate head UConn coach Chris Daly is standing by with Megan Pattison. Megan?
Thank you, Bob. Now, Chris, I thought you were going to blow me off again.
No.
17 points you guys allowed in that first half. You've got to be really happy with the defensive effort.
Yeah, we talked a lot about our defense coming into the game, and that's been good. Our concentration on the offensive end has not been as good as we'd like, but we plan to pick that up in the second half.
Yeah, I hope you're going to go home and go to bed. You're dying with this cold.
It's hurting. I'm okay.
You look good, though. Good luck in the second half, Bob.
It's UConn 38, Old Dominion 17. Huskies ball to begin the second half. Again, we'd like to welcome our viewers on Connecticut Public Television and in the Old Dominion viewer area on Home Team Sports. Glad you could join us on this Thursday night from Gamble Pavilion. And Svetlana Abrosimova quickly buries a 3, so she's got 14 points tonight. Abrosimova leads the Huskies in three-point shooting percentage at 42%.
I think she shot that from Norfolk. She was well behind the arc.
Quick steal by Abrosimova, ahead to Cash. The return pass a little bit low. Hit Abrosimova down by the shins.
Well, yeah, Abrosimova can catch pretty well, but not with her shins.
She needs a glove, fielder's glove for that one. Maiga misses the shot, but we'll get to the foul line. In the first half, Hamshitu had only 4 points, but did have 7 rebounds. She is the leading rebounder on the year for the Lady Monarchs. First team all Colonial Athletic Association performer a year ago, also made the conference all defensive team and the all tournament team.
And she's listed as a senior, but she's got another year of eligibility remaining, so
they're going to be loaded next year.
Gosh, they'll have, not only will they have the injured players back, one of them being there too, the All-American, but they'll have the mental fortitude that they've gotten through this year, which will be tremendous.
Quick turnover for the Huskies. Wendy Larry told me today that Bear 2 is doing extremely well, having gone through the ordeal once previously has helped her. Unfortunately, this is the second time she's torn an ACL.
Yeah, she had torn meniscus in that knee. Surgery on that earlier this year. There's been so many ACL injuries. I think Allison Green, the assistant, I think she told me 17 this year. She's been keeping tabs on. It's an ugly stat.
Into the post is Schumacher, who is fouled by the considerably shorter Keisha Howard. Number 1 on her, and first team foul on Old Dominion this half.
Well, Howard would be one of those guards that I used to call gnats, and that's the ultimate compliment because they're annoying. They're everywhere. Their hands are so quick. They're getting in the way.
Now they're calling the foul instead, Megan, on Gittens from the other side, and that's her 4th. Ralph gets the quick layup for her 5th and 6th points of the night. So Gittens sits down with 4 personal fouls with 18.5 minutes left. Maiga Dribbles by Bird, takes it in all the way, and will get to the free throw line.
Good aggressive take by Maiga there.
Asia Jones' third foul, and that's number 2 on UConn this half.
Keeps her head up. And Jones has to either fully commit or get out of the way, or foul him. She tried not to foul there. I mean, there could have been a good opportunity to step in and take a charge.
Rebound of Brosimova off the missed free throw, gets it up the floor to Bird. Brosimova into the post to Jones, who got the sweet position on Thompson.
Jones is the only word I can use for her, she's just a stud in the lane. Big, strong body, big presence inside.
5th assist for Svetlana. Maiga with the miss, rebound Cash, who brings it up the floor herself. Old Dominion does a good job of getting back. Bird, 3, her second of the night.
Offensively, the Huskies seem to be in a little bit more of a groove. So much so that Old Dominion wanted to put a halt to it with a timeout.
6 points for Sue Bird, her second 3 of the night, and with 17:56 to go, the UConn lead is 48-19.
Jones big in the lane, big presence, catch, and she knew where she was going to go the entire time. Did a nice job of getting to the back. And then in this case, Ralph brings it up the floor, pulls it back to check it out, and Bird, she stepped into that as she caught that ball, knowing she was going to launch it.
We mentioned at the beginning of the night that it has been a while, to say the least. Last time it happened, March 7th and March 17th in 1993. They lost to Providence in the Big East tournament. Then they lost in the opening round of the NCAA tournament to Louisville. So they have gone almost 8 complete years since losing 2 in a row. Down low, the ball goes to Coker, and what a ball game she's having off the bench. She now has 8 points and 7 rebounds.
Impressive evening so far for Coker.
Bird left side jumper, no good. Rebound pulled down by Tiffany Thompson, only her second of the night.
And with a lot of their big guys in foul trouble early, Coker has stepped in nicely.
And Bird steps in with the deflection and another steal. That's turnover number 20. A Brosimova pass into the lane, knocked away by Maiga with 24 seconds left on the shot clock as Sharon Francis replaces Allie Spence for Old Dominion.
Well, sometimes you get carried away trying to make a pretty play or a perfect pass instead of just making the easy play. And that time Brosimova got caught up trying to be too pretty.
So Old Dominion has exceeded its average turnover for the season with that 20th. But Brosimova with another rebound, down low Cash, jump step, misses everything. Rebound on a hop to Maiga. That was Brosimova's 8th rebound of the night, so she's 2 rebounds away from a double-double.
Brosimova is a tremendous rebounder because she anticipates so well. She goes hard to the glass.
Thompson misses the 3. Rebound comes out to Bird. 2-on-2 on the left. Ralph. The basket will not count. Ralph will be called for traveling before the shot.
Unfortunately, the way Ralph landed, she landed on her backside and not on her coccyx.
Sills coming up. Looks like she's a little tender.
Fortunately for Ralph, and she'll appreciate that I'm going to say that, she's got a little padding down there, so she's okay.
I'm not going to touch that one. Literally or figuratively. 16:30 remaining, 48-21. No, sir. On the left, it's Coker.
That would be no man.
Quit trying to get me into trouble. Francis on the right. Bounce pass right side to Mariah Spence for the pull-up. Mariah Spence scored just a few points in her high school career in New Mexico, like 2,209.
Over 1,000 rebounds as well.
She was the Gatorade High School Player of the Year last year in New Mexico. And Abrosimova with her third three of the evening. She now has 17 points. Entering the night, Abrosimova needed to average 17.7 points if UConn manages to play 36 games this year, which would be the maximum, in order to become the leading scorer in UConn history. Jones with the steal, hands to Bird. 21 turnovers for ODU. Ralph feeds Jones, high post, great ball movement by UConn on that possession.
Nice job by Jones, just catch and shoot. Ralph found there at the high post, and that was a spot that was open a lot against Notre Dame, and they didn't capitalize.
Ralph with 6 assists tonight, and it's a 30-point Huskies lead. Francis, right sideline. Ralph got a hand on it. 11 seconds left on the shot clock for Old Dominion. But first, a timeout. Svetlana Abrosimova, 17 points and 8 rebounds. A big reason why her top-ranked Huskies lead it by 30. 30? How come everybody's looking over here? And why are you so red? Why is your face so red?
Makeup on. I'm really red right now.
During the timeout on the message board, they had a little trivia question. And the question was, who was the most valuable player of the 1991 Big East tournament? Who was it? It was my partner, Megan Pattison. Huskies won the Big East tournament en route to their first trip to the Final Four that year.
It's amazing how a person can sweat in a sitting position. My body temperature just rose.
And you received a
degrees.
fine ovation.
Very kind are the people here in Gamble.
Coker with the shot, no good. Rebound, Maiga counted in the foul. And Asia Jones is going to pick up foul number 4. Third team foul on UConn this half, and to the foul line will go Hamshitu Maiga, who has been considerably more active in the first 5 minutes and 9 seconds here in the second half than she was in the first 20.
Well, it's amazing how much freer you can feel when you're not saddled with, she had 4 fouls in the first half. So she's trying to just come out and play with more of a reckless abandon and not worry about it.
Down low, Jones tried to find a Cutter Williams. Instead, Maiga steps in for the steal and takes it from one end to the other. Rebound, loose baseline. Maiga hustles and controls to her teammate Mariah Spence.
Outstanding hustle by Maiga. She hated sitting on the bench there in that first half.
Francis throws up the long three, no good. Rebound to Asia Jones.
That was a good look. Williams knocked that away. Abrosimova was open.
The Huskies have turned the ball over 16 times. Francis still looking to get on the board for Old Dominion. Up high, Howard beats Taurasi on the dribble.
And even Jones stepped in from the backside to help. Howard blew by everybody.
5 points for Okisha Howard. And quickly comes UConn at the other end for Tamika Williams, too.
That's one of the things that UConn is so good at is jamming it down your throats as soon as you score.
7 points for Tamika Williams. Spence finds Maiga at the foul line. Kick out Francis for 3. It took 26 and a half minutes for Sharon Francis to get on the board.
It was a nice kick by Maiga at the free throw line to the wide open Francis in the corner.
Francis averaging 10.4 points per game, one of 4 Lady Monarchs in double figures for the year, and Bird responds with a 3. 9 points all on threes.
Wow, Sue Bird has found her stroke from behind the arc. Struggling a bit this year from long range. Certainly made up for it here this evening.
It's her 23rd 3 of the season, now tied with Taurasi for the team lead. Rebound pulled down by Abrosimova. That's her 9th. Bird quickly goes right through the hands of Asia Jones. Substitution for the Huskies. Cash and Ralph enter. Abrosimova and Jones depart. And Maiga will get a rest for Old Dominion. So Old Dominion has really struggled from behind the arc, not only tonight but for the year, shooting just 29.2% in the first 12 games from three-point range.
We know what that feels like, going 11 for 33 from long range on Monday against the Irish.
Shot by Coker, no good, but she is fouled from behind. I think it might be on Taurasi. It is. And to the free throw line will go Coker. The worst part about those numbers you just mentioned, Megan, is the 33. Gino Auriemma doesn't want his club launching 33 threes in a ball game.
One of the focuses, I will tell you, before that game, because Notre Dame was in that zone and they're known for their zone defense, you have to make outside shots, and they did want to take a lot of threes that game. And if you watch the game or look at the game film, they had decent shots. They just didn't make any of them.
Entering the ball game, UConn had attempted 237 threes in their first 13 games. Taurasi feeds Cash down low, nearly stripped by Spence. Instead, Ralph feeds to Mika Williams, misses the shot, then cleans up her own miss.
You give Williams 2 chances in there. She'll make one.
She's killing her lifetime field goal shooting percentage from missing a shot like that.
Funny.
Left side, Spence, down low, Coker, nice spin move, misses badly, Gittens back in with 4 fouls, gets the putback.
Coker would say that was a pass.
They feed Williams inside, she puts it on the floor, and Coker and Mariah Spence were there. It will be Mariah Spence getting the foul, her second, and that's 2 on the Lady Monarchs.
I thought Williams just kind of fell, and she really did. No one pushed her.
Spence looked like she didn't touch her.
No, and Coker had nothing to do with it.
Timeout, 11:39 remaining in the ball game. It's UConn by 27. Copyrighted telecast is produced by authority of CPTV and is intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or any other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without express written consent of CPTV is strictly prohibited. And on the inbound pass, a quick foul is called on Old Dominion. That will be the 3rd this half on ODU. Foul is on Spence. And quickly Cash lays it in with the left hand.
You see how quick and explosive Cash can be. Took up a lot of space going to the hoop there without even a dribble.
Saw that the score of that big showdown tonight in the SEC. Inside, it comes to Gittens for 2 more. Georgia has lost only 2 games all year, 1 to UConn, 1 to Notre Dame.
And certainly Tennessee, a much different team without Catchings. Just because of that, I'd like to see them come away with a win.
Down by 4 with 12 minutes remaining. Inbound pass deflected out of bounds by Tiffany Thompson. Tennessee ranked 2nd in the country and Georgia number 4. Down low to Mika Williams all alone.
That's a way to make a team pay for double team in the post. Williams was wide open because a bunch of blue jerseys jumped all over Swin Cash with the ball in the low post.
Entering the night, Tamika Williams' lifetime field goal shooting percentage here at UConn was an amazing 69.5.
See, I would just say 70.
Inside Gittens, and Gittens with 6 quick points in the last couple of minutes has 10 for the ball game. Cash, they look for Williams again.
Williams was open, they just didn't find her.
This time Taurasi's pass in and out of the hands of Cash. Turnover number 18 for Gino Auriemma's Huskies.
See, right, 2 or 3 passes before that, Williams was wide open in the low post. Instead, try to make the more difficult pass in traffic. Consequently, it's a turnover.
Howard penetrates, kick out to Allie Spence. Rebound, Swin Cash.
Monster rebound.
And the outlet pass is knocked away and out of bounds by a hustling Allie Spence. UConn ball.
Good example there of You got to go to the basketball. Spence did a nice job flying over there from middle of the court. Ralph didn't go to the ball.
Ralph right side finds Tamika Williams up top. Taurasi with a huge height advantage on Howard. A down low to Ralph for her 7th and 8th points.
There's no guard in the country that can handle Shea Ralph when she gets the ball in the low post. She's too strong.
Right side, Mariah Spence. Inside the 10-minute mark, UConn by 29. Howard, shot clock at 10. Penetrates, kick out Allie Spence again, and a weak side rebound to Abrosimova, who now has a double-double. That was her 10th rebound. Lead pass to Ralph, knocked out of bounds by ODU. So Abrosimova with her 4th double-double of the season and her 2nd in the last 4 days.
And then that ball that went out of bounds, a near impossible pass trying to complete to Shea Ralph. Howard was with her step for step.
Abrosimova gets a rest, 17 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists for the senior from St. Petersburg, Russia. Taurasi, catch and shoot for the 3. She doesn't like the idea of Bird catching her for the team lead in threes. Now Taurasi regains that lead.
She's just a pure shooter, and when she feels it, she just launches it.
Ball knocked out of bounds with 21 left on the shot clock. Taurasi 2 of 2 from three-point range tonight. And Tamika Williams gets a rest. Tamika with 10 points. That was her 10th double-figure game of the season. Not bad for a player who has no starts. Francis spins on Bird, then kicks it out to Coker. Shot clock running down. It's at 5. Outlet to Maiga. She will have to launch it. She does. Didn't hit the rim, so that's a shot clock violation.
See, kids today get caught up with all kinds of dribbling and this. I mean, Coker wasted a lot of time and then got stuck in the corner, didn't go anywhere with that dribble, and that infuriates coaches. You see Wendy Larry, she's irate over there. You got to be productive with the basketball and run offense.
There you see the unselfishness of UConn illustrated. Insisting on 81% of their field goals. Taurasi misses the 3. Rebound Cash feeds into Jones, then deflected out. And Ralph with the no-look feed to Jones, who can't handle it. 19th turnover for UConn.
Jones has had some uncharacteristic struggles this evening holding on to the basketball.
Francis, dribble drive, and it's rejected from behind by Swin Cash.
That was a sick move.
Her 17th block of the season, but Cash cannot hang on to the long lead pass. And the Huskies have now turned it over an even 20 times as we go to another timeout. 7:53 to go in the ball game. Swin Cash goes way up for the rejection. Her club with a big lead. For Old Dominion, leading scorer in the Colonial Athletic Association, career high 28 last time out. It's been a nightmare in her first visit to Gamble.
Obviously, the numbers tonight far below her season averages. And in fairness, though, to Howard, I don't think she has seen pressure like she has seen here this evening. Bird is a relentless defender. Shea Ralph. All of them. They're all just really annoying to play against.
Howard 2 of 10 from the floor. She was 2 of 12 against UConn last season. Shot clock inside 10 yet again. Francis up high to Gittins. Howard. Reversal left side Francis. Line drive 3. Rebound Asia Jones. Here's Bird. Off the bounce to Ralph, feeds Cash, who gets drilled inside.
Picture perfect ball movement up the floor by the Huskies.
And
expended little energy, Bob. And it was just very fluid and effortless.
Well, the ball certainly didn't touch the floor much, did it?
Absolutely, picture perfect.
Cash continues to struggle from the line this season. She's 4 of 6 tonight, but as we mentioned, only 57% for the year. Svetlana Abrosimova with her second double of the week. It's the first time she's had back-to-back doubles since February 18th a year ago. Had the second of the two against St. John's. Francis, as we approach the 7-minute mark, Old Dominion with only 37 points. Howard goes by Taurasi, who blocked the shot from behind, but before the block, a traveling violation on Howard. Turnover number 23 for the Lady Monarchs.
And Wendy Larry just stood up shaking her head on that play.
Wendy Larry's club started out the year losing 3 of their first 4. They entered this one with a 5-game winning streak and winners of 7 of their last 8. Old Dominion has had 19 20-win seasons in the first 31-year history of the program.
Those are some astounding numbers.
Well, they have absolutely, we mentioned they've won all 9 Colonial Athletic Association titles. All 9 years the league has been in existence. Before that, they were in the Sun Belt Conference for 9 years, and they won that conference tournament 5 times in 9 years. They've gone to 17 NCAA tournaments. Only Tennessee and Louisiana Tech have gone to more.
I'd say they're in pretty good company.
Down low, Gittens with the spin. No good. Rebound off the hands of Jones to the tiny Okisha Howard. Francis will reset the offense. Liga wants to go inside to Gittens, but Schumacher won't let her get it. Air ball by Howard, and the rebound to Abrosimova taken from behind by Francis, and then Miga controls. It's 21 turnovers for the Huskies. The most they've had this year were 24 against Miami back on December 5th. That was the night UConn won by 24, but Gino Auriemma was most upset. That was really the first game all season, Megan, that the Huskies did not play anywhere near to their potential despite the 24-point win.
Yeah, and sometimes the score isn't very indicative of how the game was played, and Miami out-hustled them and outworked them, and that's just something that the Huskies won't live with.
Kenesha Johnson making her first appearance of the night some 34 minutes into the game.
Yeah, a bit surprising that KJ didn't get in at all in the first half, and oftentimes that's a reflection of what goes on in practice, and Gino Auriemma is a stickler for you got to bust it out every day in practice, and if you don't do that, well, you won't see time during the games.
Johnson averaging 13 minutes per game, played 11 in the loss at Notre Dame the other day, scored 3 points against the Irish. 5'7" sophomore from New Albany, Indiana.
She is so talented.
Johnson will throw up the 3. It's blocked by Gittens and pulled down by Miga with 5.5 minutes remaining. Left side to Mariah Spence. Up top, Miga gets the screen from Spence. Rebound inside Gittens. Can't get it to fall, but will draw the foul.
Giddens has been involved in all kinds of stuff. The nasty block in the defensive end coming out of nowhere to block Johnson. And then getting after the glass, skies up for the rebound, and Johnson hacks him.
We mentioned several times tonight the injury dilemma for Old Dominion. Wendy Larry said anytime you have adversity, you have to learn from it and grow. This team has worked very hard, especially when you consider that we have no seniors. And as we mentioned, Miga academically is a senior, but she has another year of eligibility and she expects to use it. Loose on the floor, mad scramble, held ball, possession arrow pointing toward Old Dominion.
Well, we were talking about that earlier today. Practice, the ODU coaching staff and I said, wow, the future, looks terrific, but it doesn't help you a whole lot right now. A lot of inexperience, the injuries are just debilitating to the team mentally as well as physically.
Myga getting a couple of points down low. That was her 9th and 10th point of the evening, so she gets into double figures. And here comes ODU at the 5-minute mark. Coker strip. Here's Tarazi, 1-on-2. No look pass to Bird, but Francis, with great anticipation, was there for the steal.
That's one of those bizarre plays that Diana Taurasi has already, in less than half a year, become famous for.
Mariah Spence finds Francis. Tried to force it into the post to Gittens. And a foul is called. Let's see who will get whistled for it. Bird was there on one side, and I think it will be Sue, who will get her second. Bird had a season-high 17 points against Notre Dame Monday. Didn't shoot well, just 3 from 11 from three-point range. But I'll tell you one thing, she certainly didn't quit. She played hard the whole time. She left it all out on the floor.
She left it all out there on the floor. And you know, she made some mistakes and decisions that are uncharacteristic of Sue Bird. But when the wheels are falling off and everything is going so badly, you become a little bit desperate, and the entire team was. But her resolve, it was impressive, the way she continued to fight.
Kim Gittens, a 6-foot sophomore from Painter, Virginia. Made the Colonial Athletic Association All-Tournament team last year. Has 12 points and 3 rebounds tonight, despite the foul trouble. Deflected out of bounds by Tiffany Thompson with 16 seconds left on the shot clock.
A late pass there by Abrosova. Thompson stepped over on the high side. Ball fake that.
Bird finds Valley inside, who niftily uses the left hand.
There aren't many people who love the game of basketball more than Morgan Valley. I mean, she is the ultimate gym rat.
4 minutes left. The lead back up to 30. Abrosova with the steal. Finds Tanisha Johnson on the left wing. Valley spins and fires. Rebound, Thompson deflects to her teammate Mariah Spence. Here's Myga. Takes it all the way in for her 11th and 12 points tonight.
How about Myga? Up the floor like a guard.
Timeout UConn. Myga has played for the national teams in both NCAA tournament there last year, a win over SMU in the second round. That place was rocking.
I did a game against Tennessee there a year or two ago. Boy, it is it's one of those old-fashioned arenas. It's a great place to play.
Bird misses the 3. Valley hustles down the rebound in the corner. We approach the 3-minute mark. UConn will not come anywhere near its average of 91 points per game tonight. But they're up 28. They'll settle for that. In traffic, Tamika Williams for 2 more. She's got 12 on 5 of 7 shooting. Her line in the box score is virtually a carbon copy from game to game. 4 or 5 shots, 3 or 4 field goals.
You know, on a team that has so many scorers, you need role players. And here a roll off the bench. Morgan Valley steps in, takes a charge. Smart play by the freshman.
Timeout, 2:42 to go. UConn with a 30-point lead. Abrosova, 17 points, 12 rebounds, and 6 assists. And there's one of them.
You who want to learn the latest about UConn women's basketball, sign up for our free email express service to receive alerts about the Huskies and all your favorite CPTV programs. I don't think those two are going to sign up.
They look like happy campers, don't they?
www.cptv.org. Click on Email Express.
Come on.
Well, they're both sick as dogs.
You're up 30.
They're looking like dogs.
Well, their team's the Huskies.
There you go. Husky dogs, that's right.
What's that expression?
As long as you don't call Chris a husky woman.
How pet owners adopt the look of their pets or something like that?
Yeah.
Well, they had that hound dog look, didn't they? Bird for 3. No good. Rebound, Tamika Williams. She's got 14 points.
Just so good at getting in position. The ball coming from the left side. Now it was a 3. It didn't Karoom off the, is it Karoom? Is that the word? Karam.
He used to play for the Lakers. Karoom.
You know how you just can't get a word in your head?
Coker spins. Yeah, I've had that problem for about 25 years. Coker's done a great job off the bench. She's got 11 points. Marcy Zell, crowd favorite, checks in up top of Rosimova, inside Williams, and the foul. I mean, Megan, it sounds like we're beating a dead horse when we throw out these Tamika Williams numbers, but here she is. For her career, we mentioned 69.5% shooter, 78.7 for the season. It seems impossible that you can improve upon that, but here she is tonight. She's 7 of 9, so her percentage will actually go up.
She got a whack in the eye after that shot. Still found a way to get it down.
16 points for Williams, one shy of Abrosimova's game-leading 17.
Well, the reason, Bob, that she shoots such an incredible percentage is that she gets herself in outstanding position. She's very, very strong. She anticipates really well.
And she has deceptively quick feet.
You know, a lot of times, a lot of people don't realize this, she'll guard the other team's best offensive player, even along the perimeter. She's explosive. Very, very quick.
She scored a school record 2,015 points at Chaminade Julienne High School in Dayton. In her freshman year 2 years ago, she was the Big East Rookie of the Year and picked by the Sporting News as the National Freshman of the Year.
She's playing that one.
Yeah, but Abrosimova gives her a chance for rebound number 12. Ralph's pass stolen by Tiffany Thompson with 1.5 minutes remaining. Turnover number 24 for UConn, so that equals their season high. And you see, coaches will love that because you're going to win by a lot, but your team committed all those turnovers, so now you have something to, address with your team tomorrow.
Nice thing with the positive spin on it. Something to complain about. Well, coaches are notorious for finding what they want to work on. Yeah, you may win the game by 30 points, but the film, when they look at the film, that shows lots of things that the players didn't realize.
Kim Giddens, by the way, has fouled out for Old Dominion, leaving with 12 points and 3 rebounds. Tamika Williams departs. There's Giddens on the bench. Williams leaves with a 16.4 rebound effort. Abrosimova, left side, Ballard. On the right, Cash. And away from the play, Valley and Maiga get tangled up, and Maiga will get whistled for the foul.
Old Dominion is a really good, fundamentally sound defensive team. They've played lots of different types of defenses tonight, but their man-to-man defense is really good. Everyone's in the right position. They front down low. They bump the cutters through the lane. They're tough to run offense against.
Old Dominion will host the CAA tournament March 8th, 9th, and 10th at the ODU Fieldhouse. They have gone as far as at least as far as the Sweet 16 in the NCAA tournament in each of the last 5 years. In 1997, they went all the way to the championship game, losing to Tennessee. The team headed by the great All-American Tisha Panachero, who's one of 4 Lady Monarchs, now making a living in the WNBA.
She's probably the best point guard in the game.
Traveling violation on the Huskies, so now they set a new season high for turnovers.
Is he winning?
He doesn't like keep track of the turnovers in his head, does he?
No, he doesn't.
He remembers them all.
He
maybe
remembers.
Not the number.
Yeah, exactly.
He won't know they have 25, but he could probably recite which 25 there were. Well, then there was the one when you threw that hideous pass up the left sideline.
This bad decision, and
into the post, and another foul will be called with 34.3 seconds left. So next up for UConn will be the trip to Pittsburgh Saturday afternoon. You'll see it on Connecticut Public Television at 2 o'clock. Then back here at Gamble on Tuesday night for the rematch with Miami. That one will be on CPTV at 7:30. Old Dominion from here will hit the road again visiting East Carolina in a conference game on Sunday afternoon, then back home to host Virginia Commonwealth next Wednesday night. There's the UConn schedule. Pittsburgh, Miami, Syracuse, Villanova, at Virginia Tech, all coming your way on CPTV. And somewhere in the middle of all those is a rematch with that school down in Knoxville. The game will be played in Knoxville.
Ought to be a good matchup, although it will be interesting to see how the Tennessee team responds to losing their senior All-American Tamika Catchings.
Coker's going to foul out with an impressive 12.9 rebound effort off the bench. One thing that, getting back to the Notre Dame game on Monday, Megan, no one has ever won a national championship on January 15th. And certainly it's probably the most important thing if you're Notre Dame about what happened the other day is it was the first time they ever beat UConn, so that presumably can only give the Irish confidence the next time they play, which could very well be right here at Gamble Pavilion in the Big East tournament. They will not meet a second time in the regular season. But as a result of the win, they may have won the Big East regular season title on January 15th.
Very good chance of that, unless they stumble along the way. And, you know, they need things to go right. They need to stay healthy. Hopefully Kelly Seaman's hand, I mean, she played beautifully on Monday with the broken bone in her left hand, and it seemed that they were going to put the surgery off a little bit. I hope that doesn't come back to hurt them later.
The Irish will have to visit Rutgers on February 17th. So that presumably would be considered the toughest remaining game on their schedule.
I think the toughest game is their next game. It's always tough to play. You play an emotional, spirited game like they did against the Huskies. Big upset victory. The next game for them is the most important.
That'll be at Seton Hall this Sunday. But on the line for UConn, 7 straight Big East regular season titles. Abrosomova misses the 3, rebound Ali Spence, and that'll do it. So UConn wins it 80-51. Back to wrap things up from Gamble Pavilion right after this. Players.
Ladies, obviously a much different effort here. And the state was reeling after that loss on Monday to Notre Dame. What were some of the things you guys wanted to work on?
You know, we got embarrassed the last game, and I knew a lot of fans were sad about that. So we decided to come out strong, and I think our defensive performance was really good today. You know, our press was much better when it was on Monday.
Tamika, 7 of 9 from the field today. You always seem to get yourself in incredible position, and during it, how do you do it?
I just do what you do. Like Coach Coach says, Peggy Walsh, Megan Hess, run up the floor, get position, and make layups. And we need to fill some roles on this team. I think that's a big part. People need to know their roles, and I know that's what I'm good at, so that's what I try to do a lot. And I think that's just, we just got to set a difference. We got to make a difference. As far as the shots come, my teammates got me open. I worked hard, and it paid off.
I think the backside helps a little bit, too. Now, the coach and CD looking rather miserable on the bench, but it's more due to a cold or something, would you say?
Yeah, they both sick, but Coach wasn't really happy with our rebounding, and especially during halftime, he emphasized that we need to rebound the ball better. And I think in the second half we did a better job, but still it wasn't really good yet.
All right, well, you yourself had 13 rebounds here, and to go with 19 points, and both of you played exceptionally well. Thanks for stopping by, and good luck. Thanks, Pittsburgh. Bob, over to you.
Okay, Megan, thank you very much. Tamika sounds like she's campaigning for office. Throwing out a compliment to the interviewer. 16 points, 4 rebounds, 7 of 9 shooting for Tamika. The final stats, UConn shooting 51% from the floor. Old Dominion 1 of 16 from three-point range, and a total of 51 turnovers in the game. 26 for ODU, 25 for UConn. Besides Abrosamova's 19 points and 13 rebounds, and Williams 16 points, Diana Taurasi with 10, Subert with 9. Maiga leading Old Dominion with 14 points and 11 rebounds. Coker off the bench with 12 points and 9 rebounds. And Gittens with 12 points. So UConn goes to 14-1 overall, 5-1 in the league. Old Dominion drops to 8-5 and remains 4-1, 4-0 in the CAA. Next up for UConn will be Pittsburgh Saturday. You'll see it 2 o'clock here on CPTV. For Megan Pattison, I'm Bob Picozzi. Thanks so much for joining us, and we bid you farewell from Gamble Pavilion in Storrs, Connecticut. The preceding has been a production of Connecticut Public Television. Good night, everyone.